Okay, so this is a Honda Odyssey 2006. It's got about 106,000, almost 107,000 miles on it. Bought it brand new. We're the single owners of this, and I inherited this from my wife. I just bought her a brand new Toyota. Anyway, so I'm going to do the valve cover gaskets are leaking, and they suggest to check the valve lash or do a valve adjustment at about 100,000 miles. I've already done the timing belt a while back. I've removed the cover. I've removed the battery. I've removed the air intake here, and that just gives me a lot more room to work with. I've watched some videos. I've already loosened this, and what they suggest is so that you don't have to take all these hoses off with water, you can just take this is the throttle body, and so I'm going to go ahead and just remove it now, and we'll just leave that hanging there, and then I'll move to removing the intake manifold. So these are two nuts here. I have some little magnetic trays over here that I'll put all my screws in so I don't lose them. Alrighty, let me do that. Let's see if I can get the screws out now. Or the bolts, rather. And it came loose. Once I loosened the bolts on here and the screws, it came loose. Okay, and you got to watch out because sometimes some of these bolts are longer than others, and so you got to definitely make sure that that if one is longer than the other, you don't want to put it in the other. So these are the same size. Okay, hopefully I can just remove this and have it just lay over here, and then I'll clean this later on. All right, and so that's pretty much going to stay right there, out of the way. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, I'm not sure what the name of this is right here, but I'm going to remove that. I'm going to need to take off the PCV over here on this side, and so let me go ahead and do that real quick. And I think I had this started. I just need to figure out where. Here it is. So let me see if I can get this going here. Okay. Some of these screws will stay in, but others won't, so you got to be careful that you don't lose a washer or whatever. I think these are all going to come out fairly easy. Yeah, so they come out. So I'll just pull them out, put them on my magnetic tray. Come on. Okie dokie, and that would just stay right there, kind of out of the way. These guys over here. All right, so I don't know if y'all can see it on camera, but what I ended up doing is I ended up numbering the, these are the screws that I got to take off and some bolts. And I went ahead and numbered them, and I put down the torque that I need to torque them to after I'm done. But before I do that, I need to remove this guy right here. And I need to remove the light up here. I need to remove this right here, right there. And I have these special pliers that are for clamp. They make several different ones, and they're pretty cool because they go on there and they remove the clamp, and then you let it go with this, and so it works really cool. Okay, now it's a matter of getting some needle nose and then kind of forcing this stuff, kind of breaking the and then pulling on it, you can push and pull. Over here, it's going to be a little bit harder because it's, all right, that came off fairly easy. So let's see if I can push that out. Yep, that's going to come out, hopefully. There you go. All right, that came off. Now I want to see if I need to remove anything else. I think I got a plug over here that I need to take off of this. And by the way, you know, when you're working on these guys, I don't know if y'all can see this, you definitely need to be real careful with these, because with they age with the heat, and sometimes they'll break and they won't snap in, and so, I mean, they'll stay, but if they come loose, then you're going to have issues later on. So you got to make sure that you're pressing on the right tab to let it go, because you can break them real easy. All right, so there's one over here, and I don't want to. See if I can get it off here. Move this out of the way. It's over here. Trying to figure out where that tab is. There he goes. Okay, so I got that off. Got that off. Got that off over there. Got that off. Got this off. Got that off. Okay, so now time to remove these guys here. So let me see what, I want to say that's a 10. Yeah, it's a 10 millimeter. Let me grab my 10 millimeter real quick.